it clicked differently in my brain. You know, I'd see jiu-jitsu moves and I could like just watch them one time. I'm a visual learner besides that, but I could watch a match and look at a move that's done on there and I could go and redo it. You know, I might mess up the first time, but the second time I'll probably hit the technique and do the technique with all the same details that he did in the match in the video. You know, and it's like a deeper understanding of it. You know what I mean? And I was at that point, I'm like, I can't let this go, man. I just love it. I'm enthralled with it. You know, winning, losing, it didn't matter. I was just all I could find myself doing, all I ever wanted to do. And I have an off season. I just wrestled in high school, then did jiu-jitsu, then went right back to wrestling season, then jiu-jitsu. And I was like, this is what I just want to do for the rest of my life.
So you enjoy routine?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like the routine of like working out. It's kind of like a nail, a thorn in my ass almost. You know, it's like, hey, you didn't work out today, bro. You
right.
know? You didn't go and get some work in, you know? And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Got hit.
And sore ass loser, bro, because he had a bottle of Ciroc and then he waited to see that there was no more threats around him, and then he threw it to act like he was tough.
Oh, bro.
So my friends are like, "Oh, bro, look at this guy. He's starting some shit." I'm like, "Nah, dude, that's what a fucking pussy looks like."
Yeah. He's trying to act all tough when everyone's watching now.
Bro, and I know that all too well, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm talking about? How are you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It is another beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Sunday at 3 or whatever the case it may be. But Thursday at midnight for you. It's another beautiful day at midnight in Miami studios. How are you doing? It's your motherfucking boy, Gamero, the Pharaoh, the poor man's Robert De Niro. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, so very ecstatic to be joined here another day, another glorious, evening for you guys. And ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm talking about. Before I get to introduce the man to my left-hand side, a man of many talents, you know what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, to my right-hand side, the man's trying to get a damn Gatorade sponsorship, you know what I'm saying? Blue flavor.
Athletes.
That's the, amen, bro. That's a fucking athlete. And I'm a damn white belt. Praise God. Ladies and gentlemen, to my right-hand side, we got Emmy in the his house. How you doing? Gotta do it.
That was pretty cool.
You know, pretty cool. We got a live in studio audience we're gonna introduce in a little bit. Emmy, how you doing? We missed you. I know you was traversing the world. You know, we put the word out. We told them that you were putting the good word of Midnight in Miami out in the nation. You know what I'm talking about? Spreading that gospel. Emmy, how was your hiatus? How was life?
It was good, you know, taking care of some business. Houston, you guys are ratchet as ever. Good to know. Yeah. No, man, just got the second vax right now. Pfizer awesome. Gang.
Okay, we're out here. How you feeling? you feel the power going through your veins?
Actually, and it makes me nervous.
Oh shit!
It makes me mad nervous because the first one put me on my ass.
Really?
Like, knocked me the fuck down.
Okay.
So this one I was expecting, 3 weeks, fucking ER. I didn't even feel the injection.
Wow.
I didn't feel the injection, actually, which is the first time I ever take a needle and I don't feel it.
Damn.
Which is concerning, right? Heroin is still a possibility.
This man's got the damn antidote in his veins. You know what I'm talking about?
Shit.
Gang shit.
Pfizer gang.
Pfizer gang. Oh, me too. Gang. Okay, all right. We out here. Gang. All right, gang.
Meet me at 200 Moderna.
Pfizer. Oh, okay. We out here. Gang.
Pfizer boys.
Gang. Okay, shit.
Moderna,
Bro, you can't try to pull up on us, bro. We got a jiu-jitsu practitioner and I'm a white belt, bro. What's good? You know what I'm saying?
I got Gatorade.
Exactly.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. Ladies and gentlemen, behind the cameras, you know what I'm talking about? The man got a beer in his left hand. You know what I'm talking about? But he's got a Boeing cap, so it balances out. You know what I'm talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, behind the scenes, we've got my blood, my brother, Ignacio in the his house. You gotta love that enthusiasm, baby. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
I'm making all the wrong choices. How do I have a Gatorade and you have a beer?
What
did I do?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we are in a parallel universe right now. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm talking about. For the first time in a long time, you love to see it. We have a live, I mean, depends what you call live, but live in studio audience. You know what I'm talking about. We got Charles, Michelle, and Michi in the his house. You know what I'm saying? We love to have them. We love to host people. You know what I'm saying? If you want to come sit on down for an episode, just slide in the DMs. You know what I'm talking about. And ladies and gentlemen, How do I even put into words the introduction that I have before me? I'll be honest, I'm already sweating with these damn introductions already, but that's life, ladies and gentlemen. And speaking about life can be merely but a chess game at times. And what better representation of a physical chess game than Jiu-Jitsu, the gentle art? Ladies and gentlemen, to my left-hand side, we have one of the most talented individuals in the South Florida Jiu-Jitsu scene. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Miami studio audience today, we have Julien Moreno. You know what I'm talking about? This man is a man of many hats. This man is a man of many talents. You know what I'm talking about? If you see this man in some mats, let me tell you, don't get your ass on the floor because it's going to be a long night. Ladies and gentlemen, Julien, how are you? Thank you so much for dropping on by.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Brother.
Absolutely, brother.
How is your Sunday treating you? How has your weekend been?
Great, man. It's been a good weekend. I got a chance to compete last night.
Talk to me.
On Flow Grappling, actually. It was the second Subversive team tournament they had down here in South Florida. Subversive 5. I was on Flow Grappling. I got to compete in there. So it was pretty good, man. I had a great experience on that big stage. A lot of really, really big names there. Top level jiu-jitsu fighters right now in the world were there last night, and had a lot of scraps, and it was a good event. It was good.
Hell yeah. Where was that?
I was actually at La Scala in Brickell.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, La Scala in Brickell.
See. All right.
How often do you find yourself traveling to different locations to participate in an event?
Really, if it's local, I'm talking about Central Florida, 3-4 hours quick drive like that. As much as I can, as much as my job will allow me to. If I had to put a number to it, I'd probably say at least 3 to 4 times a year, like traveling up there, going up there. We're blessed here being South Florida that it's so busy and so active. They got so many events here, and so many jiu-jitsu schools that we don't have to travel too much for it. But also Orlando's a big hub too that they always have tournaments and super fights up there. And there's a good level up there too, jiu-jitsu up in Orlando area. So, a couple times a year, if there's like super fights and things like that, I'll definitely travel up for.
How do you find yourself controlling getting the reins on the nerves? You got a 3-4 hour drive to Orlando. Is it difficult for you to not think about the actual event?
Not really, man. I gotta say it's probably after so long, I guess. I've been doing jiu-jitsu since I was 13, and I just turned 26. So it's going on 14 years now that I've been doing jiu-jitsu. It's just kind of another day in the office, right? Like it's like any other kind of business trip, if you will. Oh. Right? You're gonna go handle some business.
Okay. Shit. Damn. The man was training at 13, boy. I was watching Lizzie McGuire. You know what I'm saying? That's facts, bro. And you could put that on my tombstone. You know what I'm saying?
I was catching some SpongeBob too before I also
G-shit, bro.
It's jiu-jitsu after SpongeBob.
Get your mic, bro. You got to put the blinders on, put that SpongeBob on. You know what I'm saying? Handle business. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Julien, you briefly mentioned jiu-jitsu schools. How would you define or describe your views towards the gentle art? Would you consider yourself kind of a purist in a sense that you expect jiu-jitsu schools to uphold a certain standard, or do you find yourself wanting to be in a more laid-back atmosphere when it comes to jiu-jitsu? What are your views towards that?
You might have to be able to. You might gonna get a snippet out of this one too. By the way. I'm only saying that because my boy.
Hey, Instagram. What?
Yeah, Daniel Perez Jiu-Jitsu. That's where I train at right now. Shout out Daniel. Shout out all my boys out there.
Big shout out.
Great group of guys coming up. And but funny you asked me that is I'm gonna sound like a little bit of a hypocrite right now, and that's why I said a snippet because my homies we are so laid back, bro. We're so chilled. People show up to class. We have 7:15 start time because it's a little bit later, so allow people to get there, kind of trickle in. We talk some shit before class. We catch up with anyone who might be new or coming in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's very laid back. We don't line up by belts or have any specific order in what we line up. When we bow out of class, we do. We line up by belt order. In Nogi, we don't ever like. There's no belts in no-gi.
What? Best believe I'm first in the line. You know what I'm saying? All day, we out here. You know.
Hey, but that's also a thing, right? Is to give other people a chance for leadership and shit. To kind of step up and be like, you're a part of the team. You can be at the front of the line too. Oh,
no, I'm saying front of the line from the back. You know what I'm saying? White belts only, baby. White belts only. You know what I'm saying? But that's paradise right there. That's where you be learning. Talk to me about your perseverance in such a demanding sport. In case you haven't known, I'm a white belt. You know what I'm saying? And was it frustrating? Was it difficult for you in maybe you expected to go up a stripe or go up a belt by a certain date and you didn't get that, or maybe you got it beforehand? And what made you persevere as far as some people can wait years in between belts, and I know it's a unspoken rule, and some would say spoken rule, right, that you can't even ask for it or mention it or whatever the case. Talk to me about that. What made you keep going as opposed to hanging it up?
Well, man, it's you're always just trying to get better, right? And I feel like that principle can be added to any craft, right? I mean, we're sitting here and we're talking with each other, right? And you guys got the craft that you guys want to excel at. And maybe, the following, right, doesn't come or you don't get the hits on the videos or anything like that at first. And you think, wow, what am I doing wrong? And you're just trying to progress and try to get better, right? It's not like a number thing. I feel like you should add that same principle to jiu-jitsu. Like, it's not a belt thing. It's not a stripe thing. It should be you just trying to get better, right? You're trying to be better than what you were yesterday. If you see yourself getting caught in triangles left and right, you're always, man, I just don't know what's wrong. I can't get out of the triangles. I can't get out of there. And then one day you see, shit, I defended it pretty well. And then now you're like, oh, crap. Maybe the next time instead of 4 times getting caught, you're getting caught 3 times, That's what you should be doing. So when you're analyzing your own game, or when I'm analyzing my game and I'm thinking, okay, this spot that I used to be stuck in before, I feel kind of confident in it now, right? I feel better in it now. That's your progression. And even though it's like you see your friends or those other people getting stripes or belts, if you stay with that tunnel vision of just focusing on your progression, they will come actually faster than what you even thought, right? You won't even recognize it. And if they don't, they don't. But your performance is, if that's what your goal is, to perform, to go out and compete and to win, it's going to show there, right? Because there's no excuse, there's nothing substituting that, right? The hard work you put in will come out on the mat. It's like math. There's really no debating that. So, as long as you keep that focus and that tunnel vision, I mean, it really didn't matter to me who was getting what belt or who was getting what stripe. It was just more important on, like, I'm getting better. I'm winning. I'm placing at these tournaments. I'm getting the medals. I'm getting the recognition. I'm progressing. Whether it took me 3, 4, 5 years to get a belt, I was progressing, and that's what's important, because it's the long game, right? That's what we're playing here.
Yeah. So when you're training, you're doing it with white belts too?
Oh,
so it's just across the board, any level?
Any level, man. It's important, whether you're a freaking UFC fighter or, champion or anything, anyone can teach you something, right? You always got something to learn from everyone. And even, you use those people for different reasons than you use the more advanced people, right? Like, I mean, in the sense of training, right? I'm not going to train the same way with Juan that I would train with black belt, or, you know what I mean? It's still different, but it serves its own purposes, and it's learning. It's beneficial for both parties,
Yeah. You train up. Absolutely. Right. Yeah. Cause I did jiu-jitsu like fucking, I don't know, 10 years ago, a couple months. It's just too much shit going on. There's a lot of shit. You got to remember way too many things. And CT was already flaring up.
Oh yeah, but CT as an early assassin.
Yeah.
It's a silent killer.
Oh, it's a silent killer.
Killing memories. Memories.
Apparently, it's you're a true fighter nowadays. Now too, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
Or I mean, not necessarily a good one though. I tell you what.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, the man boxed, bro. He's being humble, but he boxed.
Okay.
So that's why it was too much shit. Jiu-jitsu is way too many variables to consider.
Yeah.
But I remember we would only train with white belts. And you get really good at, like you said, a specific thing. Like if I master the triangle, there's no one that's going to walk around me in the triangle.
Right.
So you just kind of stay stagnant there. So that's why I was asking, because it makes sense that you would train up, because you're going to be able to fuck me up in any guard with my triangle. Let's say if that's what I'm the best at. So I'm going to have to learn how to either better that or find a new way around it to get another thing. So that seems perfect. It was really weird how we would only train. I don't even think we trained with like other stripes. I think stripes went up and it was just like white belts were there, and it was, I don't know, it just seemed like you just get stuck somewhere, right?
Yeah, and that kind of goes back to that same thing that like the question you asked me about different schools and how strict they are and things like that, right? Because there are some schools that you're gonna go to that they're gonna be, lower belts don't ask the higher belts to roll, right? Wait for the higher belt to ask you.
Yeah, and I've heard about that before.
Yeah, and then, but I do and I don't like it, right? And that's why I said I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite, right? Because I'm a little bit of a purist in that, hey, bow when you get on the mat,
Right.
Professor, acknowledge them as their rank, that they've earned, right? Call them professor. You bow to your higher belts. You move for your higher belts if you're rolling, But at the same time, I go into my school and I gives a fuck. There's white belts calling out brown belts, talking shit left and right. Fuck you,
Hey,
okay? Armbar shit.
Bro, meet me at 205,
Yeah,
bro.
you know
What's
what I
good?
mean?
You know what I'm saying?
That's the vibe we got going on there. You know what I mean? And white belts, I tell all the white belts, hey, I don't know where you're from, but ask me to roll if you want to ask me to roll. I ain't gonna take it as a challenge. No one here should take it as a challenge. We're all homies.
But is there a fine line between like, all right, asking you to roll and then a white belt that comes in for the first time thinking they're hot shit? You think there needs to be, do you think that someone needs to assert their dominance over this person?
Yeah, yes, and I mean, for you asking me, yes. You gotta ask my professor, Danny. Danny, I know, pro, watching this, and can tell you, man, let them be. They'll learn their lesson in their own time. You ask me, yeah, I'll be the mat enforcer. They kind of call that. I'll be that. I mean, I'm not gonna be a dick to him either. Hurt him so he don't come back, but he's gonna know, hey, man, it's a wake up call, bro. There's always a bigger fish.
Oh, yeah, always. Julien, talk to me. If there's one thing that I definitely want to talk to you about is, your experiences on the mats, in the event, in competition. Mm-hmm. Has there ever been a situation where you have gotten a submission on somebody? It's tight. They're not going anywhere, but they're not tapping. Do you consider, breaking the limb or whatever the case? Do you go for it? Do you let go and go for something else? What do you do at that moment?
Man, sorry, bro. You signed on that dotted line. You shook my hand, and you know what it's like. I mean, it's tough because, again, it is for levels, right? Because I wouldn't say, you're not trying to intentionally hurt somebody. Like, I had a couple weeks ago, I had a fight at a Submission Hunter Pro in Orlando. It's two weeks ago. And I had an inside heel hook. And I had it deep, and I was, yeah, man, you already.
Yeah.
I know, man. I've been injured by heel hooks too, before, and I was cranking it super hard, and you can see in the video as I'm cranking it, I'm kind of like looking at the referee, looking at him like, this is kind of done, bro. It's checkmate, man. Don't let me do this to you. Don't let me do this to you. But then, the second time I ran, I got a little deeper that second time, and the second time it was GG. He tapped, but okay. I'm not trying to hurt them. But if they're not tapping, and some people are more stubborn than others, and I think that. It comes to like an understanding of competitors, right? Like kind of like honor among thieves, right?
Right.
I mean, me personally, if we're fighting, and we're in a match, in a competition, as soon as you feel me tap, even if it might be once or twice, let go, please.
Right.
Because I'm going to stand up, and even if the referee didn't see it, I'm going to honor and say, yeah, bro, it's a tap. There are other people that... quote unquote Brazilian tap.
What's
no
that?
Offense against the Brazilians.
Shout out Neymar, baby.
Yeah, shout out Neymar, my boy. Shout out Brazilian
In
soccer
that case,
team.
total offense.
Oh, somebody, what is it, Real Madrid fan?
Baby.
All right.
They got better uniforms.
Yeah, that's the separate conversation. I didn't say that, all right? For all y'all Barcelona fans out there, I didn't say nothing about that.
Yeah, I said it. What's up?
Oh my God.
Let's go. Pfizer gang.
So it fucking, it's the Brazilian tap, right? And people say that because there's been times where, you get caught in an armbar and you're like, I didn't tap. I didn't,
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, nah, man, let it go, bro. I'll call it a day and, live to fight another day. But there are some people who are stubborn, and I've had to, I've let go of a submission or thought there's a tap and no, it wasn't. And I look up at the referee and the referee don't stop it. And all right, man, well, the next time, I'm going to keep that triangle 3 or 4 seconds. I feel the tap, but I'm going to look up at the referee and make sure that, hey, you better hope your homie, bro. You better go to sleep. You better stop the match, man.
About to be night.
Because at that point, it's like, oh, you don't have that honor anymore. Then right, fuck you. Then you know.
Speaking about referees, talk to me about some horror stories regarding them.
Oh man, it's a sore subject, bro. Ain't gonna make me do this, bro. You're making me all
I can tell something happened. I mean, by the audience's reaction, definitely something happened.
Jesus Christ, man. Man, I've refereed plenty of events before.
Oh, for
you know
real?
What I mean? Yeah. I've refereed at least 10 tournaments, if not a little bit more, bro, that I can remember. You know what I mean? Over the course of the years.
Do you take that extremely seriously, given the fact that you got somebody's life in your hands?
Yeah, man. I mean, and it's the life, it's their safety, it's their health, it's their livelihood, bro. You know, whether it's a white belt, that's the first tournament, you know, let's take it there. That's their first tournament, it's their first experience, you know? Like, take care of them. Make sure you know the rules, you know the stories, man. We had at the New Breed, and you know, I just want to say New Breed's an amazing tournament. You know, great tournament's been around for a long time. But
we got a double champ right here. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Okay,
you know what I'm saying? The
audience,
you know I'm hyped to introduce the champ.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we had one of our blue belts. It was a 17-year-old competing in the adult division for the first time. And he's a blue belt, so knee reaping isn't allowed, right? And for anyone who's not aware of what knee reaping is you know, bringing the knee on the leg, outside of the opponent's leg and kind of putting torque on the knee, right? And forcing him to kind of turn away. It puts a lot of pressure on the knee. It could lead to blown knees, torn ligaments, the whole nine.
And that's not allowed in white or blue?
White. It's not even allowed to purple brown belts.
Oh,
you
shit.
know, to
Okay.
advanced nogi. You know, we're not even talking about intermediate. Intermediates aren't allowed to do that either.
Right.
And he clearly, you know, gets an ankle lock, pulls it one way, goes the other way, and the referee's standing over them, watching them, and the leg completely goes across his belly, all the way onto my teammate's leg, and I'm standing there, and I get out, hey man, you didn't see that? And the referee looked me dead in the eye, square in the eye, says, I didn't see anything, I didn't see the reap. So, long story, bro. I just blow a gasket, man. I'm like, how do you guys not seeing that? And on top of that it happened 5 minutes earlier. Literally 5 minutes earlier with a white belt match that I was, again, coaching one of our white belts. The same thing. He leg reaped, and I had to tell the referee, hey, he just knee reaped. What are you doing?
Right.
Until the referee looked at me, made eye contact, then stopped the match, stood them back up, and then gave him a penalty. Until I yelled at them to tell them, hey, bro, what the fuck? This is going on, you know? Jesus, and so then Diego, you know, with the situation with Diego, I'm yelling back and forth with the guy. He's like, he told me, I didn't see any knee reap. Then he goes up and he checks the fucking rules.
Oh, are you serious?
And he wants to tell me, and I'm like, hold on, bro.
What's a knee
Bro,
reap?
wait, what?
Yeah. What are you trying to check? Because if you're telling me you didn't see no knee reap, but now you want to make sure that knee reaps are illegal, what the fuck is it? What's the story, right? Like, I understand we're humans and, you know, we make mistakes, but don't play me like an idiot either, right?
Right.
And so he goes and he checks and he's looking, you know, intently because he's trying to make sure. And I go, bro, it's right there. It's clear as day, dog. You can't fucking knee reap at blue belt. How long have you been a black belt for? You know what I'm saying? And these are just simple rules, dude. This is nothing, no technicality on a position, on a points. You know, I'm not gonna argue any of that because it's all subjective. But something like that, bro, it's like so blatantly obvious that he just didn't care. He just just wasn't paying attention. Either was looking somewhere else or didn't give a fuck. And so afterward, you know, they said, oh, well, we're going to continue the fight. And I go, what? You just made your decision.
That's insane.
How are you going to come put him back? And then again, waited a couple more minutes and he said, okay, the other guy got DQ, bro. We could reverse the decision. I go, bro, we just spent here 10 minutes and now you're going to tell me that we're going to reverse the decision and then everything's okay. And he tried to play it off like, it's okay. Your guy won. It's okay. I go, no, bro. That's not the thing though.
He could have been, yeah. It's
my guy. But then how about, and I went to turn to the crowd and said, how about him? How about him? How about him? What about their match? Is anybody going to fight for them when you fuck up? Or what's going to happen? You know, I said, you guys just got to care more, man. And, you know, and there's a million other horror stories, bro. I'm going to say one more because last night.
Please.
This one last night really got me hot.
Before you do, I wanted to ask, what is the requirement or the standard needed to be a referee?
That's the thing, bro. There isn't.
So anybody be a ref.
Yeah, man. You done jiu-jitsu before? There you go.
For 2 months. Damn.
That's enough, man. I guess so.
Damn.
Just shy of 6 months, by the way. So
my bad.
You know, like there is, right? There usually is. You have to be a purple belt or above to be a referee, right?
Okay.
And usually, but the problem is that the belts don't necessarily indicate your awareness or your knowledge of the rules. You can be. I've known black belts who have literally argued with me about, you know, the simplest of positions when I'm refereeing, and I'm like, are you a fucking black belt? Are you serious? Have you ever competed before? Because like it's insane. I can't believe this.
Come here. I'm gonna show it to you.
Bro, we're talking about like famous black belts, not famous, but like in our community, like known black belts are really arguing with me the dumbest things, and I'm like, bro, are you serious right now? You haven't read the IBJJF rulebook? Like, are you serious?
Do you think that there should be some sort of universal standard that people need to meet, or maybe a test that you need to pass, a physical test, in order to surpass each belt? Because as of right now, it's kind of to the person's discretion of when they feel that you're ready.
No, man, I'm not for that. I really am for the subjectiveness of it. Because it's yes, some people do get it faster than others, and some, it's not for anyone's to say if it's deserving or not deserving, right? Like, it's tough for me to look at somebody and, like, as a brown belt, I can go in there and sub them in 30 seconds, just completely mop them. That doesn't mean that they're not a brown belt, right? And the same, I've beaten black belts before, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm a black belt. So that having a physical test or like a knowledge test to it would be extremely difficult because it's subjective. It's so subjective at each belt level, and everyone that they like, man, it's like a fingerprint, bro. Jiu-jitsu is like having your own fingerprint. Your jiu-jitsu is unique, and it won't be the same as anyone else's. And even coaches that have, or students that are like or emulate their coaches, it's not the same. You have a style like your coach, and we can see your coach in you, but you are you, right? And you have your own jiu-jitsu. So that's where the problem begins with having like subjective belts and having like physical tests or knowledge tests for each belt,
Makes sense.
Beyond the most basic requirements, right? Like knowing how to shrimp, knowing a basic arm bar from mount, knowing like Kimuras, little Americanas, like basics, the most basics, like white to blue, it's easy, right? Like it's pretty generic when you're a blue belt.
Right.
Past that, too difficult to tell.
Too difficult to tell. But back to your second referee horror story, please.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one, man. This is what I'm talking about. Like the standard of referees, bro, has to increase, right? And I think they tried to do that with MMA also with the universal rules. You know what I mean? Like standardizing it, because they kind of had to do something about it because it was getting bad. Last night, I had that match as Subversive, and I did lose. Unfortunately, lost. On a restart, we going back into the middle. We were going a little bit out of bounds. My opponent had my back, and I had a grip on his pants. And I watched the video again, and he had a seatbelt, and I was grabbing onto his forearm, so he had no choke, no nothing. I'm controlling his arm, controlling his pants. He's halfway off my back. I literally feel his shoulder right next to mine. I'm about to get him off and go to half guard. She stops the match. She's literally over us, looking at me in my eye. And we go back to the middle. And when we get restarted in the middle, I said, hey, I had a pant grip. No, you didn't. Combate. What the fuck are you talking? What do you mean? You just saw me right. I want to tell you guys, just so everyone could see how this played out. I'm going out of bounds. Paro. Time. Stop. Come back to the middle.
And that's Portuguese.
That's Portuguese. Paro. Stop. Come back to the middle. Okay. 2 seconds. I go down. He gets on my back, puts one hook in. Go to grab. No, you didn't have a grip on his pants. What are you talking about? I had a grip on his pants. No, you didn't. Go ahead. Set up. Okay, combate. I'm like, what? There's like 10 seconds just passed from your restart. How are you going to tell me I didn't have a grip on the pants? And that changes the whole fight because he changed the angle. When he put his hook in, he changed the angle that he had on my back. He changed the seatbelt that he had on my arm. So, of course, any brown belt, any high-level guy is gonna finish from there, So, I was really upset about it. I was able to defend a little bit off that, and then he sunk in the choke and, and finished. But that really, really, really bugged me because it was even worse when I saw the video. He really was off my back, almost completely off. And then because the lady just didn't feel like giving me the pant grip, it turns a completely different way, right? And that's like, the standard of referees just has to improve. And she's a brown belt, I've never seen a referee a single event ever, period. She doesn't, never has. And you're talking about a subversive, an event that's put online, streamed to millions of people on Flow Grappling that has millions of subscribers. And you're not going to care to put, and I'm not saying, not to down anyone, but, you're going to be put on that stage. Shouldn't you care a little bit more?
Right.
Shouldn't you have a little more
first
focus?
timer out there?
Right? Yeah, a separate issue to talk about, right? But, and that sucks. It sucks for me because then I'm like, well, I now definitely can't keep it out of the judges' hands because, But there's a level to that, especially when it's like a stage where you can't control that because you're eventually going to get close to falling off, that they have to stop it.
Right.
And it's on them to make sure that you have every grip, every leg entanglement, wherever your foot is, like little inches, unfortunately, like in jiu-jitsu, especially in the gi, inches are miles. You know what I mean? Especially when we're talking high levels.
100%, and that could be the understatement of the year right there. I actually want to get our in studio audience, and I wanted to get the opinion of Michelle, who was actually in the audience for said match. What was the experience like? From the audience perspective, were you able to see the pant grab as well? Talk to me about that. And if you want to give her the, feel free.
Oh, yeah.
Open up.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at me. I'm so fancy.
Super fancy, girl. You want a GoPro? What's good?
All right. I don't think I noticed anything. And I told him, I'm like, I didn't, like, I know it seemed seemingly to me, who doesn't know much, that it was in the same position. But Emilio, who is his teammate and was sitting next to me, was like, he had the pant leg. And I'm like, huh? But then like 2 seconds later, it's all about positioning. Like 2 seconds later, you see him reach around and grab the pant. So I was like, okay, he got the pant back. I guess it's fine. But it's like he was saying, like he watched it because that's the way he is. You know, he's like a perfectionist. He'll rewatch his matches. He'll watch other matches. Like that's what he does. That's like his thing.
Right.
So he rewatched it and he would watch it a couple of times and he was like, man, like, no, it's not the same. Like the angle of the way that like he's like basically coming off of my back, you know? That's what changed the rest of it. So no, I didn't really notice. I wouldn't have even noticed that he had the pant versus didn't have a pant. But that's why I'm not refereeing.
Bro.
You know?
She saw about as much as the other referee saw.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna toss it up.
She would have done a better job.
Yeah.
That would have been the favoritism. But yeah. I don't know. Was this the position you were in? Yeah. Go,
I trust you, babe.
Appreciate that.
But yeah, I guess it was, to someone more knowing, it was a noticeable difference.
Okay.
And I just say that I didn't, like myself, I didn't know. But yeah, I guess it was noticeable.
Okay. Julien, do you have a preference as far as, smaller events, small tournaments, or these, massive televised streamed events with, like you said, millions of subscribers? Is there a preference? Does it play a role? Does it get in your head, or does it not matter at all?
I think I hate to sound like that posh, it's my experience. I have so much jiu-jitsu experience, but after so long, it really does, it's just another day in the office. But I definitely would say, I guess for other people, it might definitely affect them more, the bigger stage, being in front of people. And I gotta say, it really does, it gives the nerves are different, right? Because as many competitions as you do, I mean, I don't know about anybody else out there, but 14 years and I still get the nerves, I gotta smoke a little blunt on my way to my competition to kind of cool down.
Bro. Amen, bro.
To kind of just, okay, I'm ready for this, you know what I mean? And it hits me, but you're definitely with those bigger shows, you feel that pressure a little bit more because in a competition, you're like, okay, I don't know who's there. It could be a couple matches, could be just one. I could have a long day. I'm ready for a couple different things, different scenarios playing out. When it's like a single individual matchup, like last night with this guy, I knew what he was going to throw at me. I knew what he was coming at me, and we game planned. And I only had a week and a half to kind of really practice what I was going to do to him or to defend against him. But you're like looking at his style and you see what they do, and you game plan accordingly. At a tournament, you can't game plan. You don't know who you're going to come into and run into. You can look at your bracket and be like, oh, that guy is from this school and he's pretty good and he does this, but you got to kind of just work everything. And so that's like another difference with like tournaments and like single events that are streamed and things like that. Your approach kind of has to be different. So there's a difference to it. If I had to choose one, I definitely prefer tournaments. I like that. Besides the fact that a lot more people can come and watch, there's a lot more people watching.
Right.
And it's like the essence of what jiu-jitsu is, right? It's like, it's not prize fighting. Right. And I kind of don't want it to turn, I don't want jiu-jitsu to turn into prize fighting. I want it to be the tournament style, kind of art that it is, because unfortunately, like in MMA, it went from being art and being the sport to now it's prize fighting, and I think there's a big difference between prize fighting and like MMA and fighting in general, and the art and the sport of it. Right. Like, so I like the single events and I prefer tournaments. I just don't want it to be, a prima donna-y, how the UFC and all this and boxing has gotten now,
Yeah, and I think I can tell, and that's where the true purist is starting to come out,
Right.
I kind of want to get your 2 cents after speaking on this. What do you think is happening right now in the current state of boxing and what's going on with the YouTubers and with the old fights with the Tysons and this and that. I mean, Andy Ruiz fought last night. Nobody gave a fuck. You know,
Right,
like
and
so.
was a boxer.
Right. So talk to me about that.
You know, it's like I said, man. It's just prima donnas now, bro. You know, and unfortunately, jiu-jitsu has caught the prima donna bug because it just makes money. You know, and that's what the untrained people want to see, unfortunately. And no, nothing against untrained people or anything. You know, like it's a spectator sport at the end of the day. But
The casuals.
yeah, the casuals, right? The casuals. Shout out to the casuals because they're the ones who watch
casuals,
us,
bro.
right? Casuals are the real cash cows, right? The ones
yeah.
really like watching us and supporting us. So you know,
Facts.
but then you know it kind of turns into like Logan Paul talking about hey Tyron Woodley, I want to fight you. Come on, man. Oh my God, bro. You don't even want to see you don't want to be 2 feet next to a ring with that guy. You know what I mean? And it's like they're doing that and they're saying that because they know Tyron's not going to fight him.
Right.
And they know people are going to want to repost that everywhere. And then, it's the gimmick, right? It's the thing. And that's what I hate about it, right? It's like, you're not a real boxer. Like now he's going to fight Floyd coming up. You think it's a real fight? Come on,
Dude,
man.
come on.
That's not a fight. You
Fighting
guys
him in a month, June.
Yeah, imagine, bro. That's not you're not a real fighter. You're not a real boxer. You're not a real artist. You're a WWE wrestler, for better said.
Right.
Yeah.
You might get in there and you might actually throw a real punch, but you're no better than the WWE wrestlers and stuff. And nothing against them. They're entertainment. They are. It's World Wrestling Entertainment, right?
Right.
Well, you're in boxing entertainment now.
Right.
You're not a real boxer.
Facts.
You're a boxing
That is
entertainment.
exactly what the fuck it is, dude.
Yeah.
The fact that they had to legally change their name from WWF to WWE.
Yeah, that
is
says it all.
insane.
That says it all, man. Because you're not, and and they've embraced it and they've taken it in stride. They do scripts. Everyone knows that the WWE is scripted.
Right.
Everyone knows it, and they still love to see it.
Right.
So Logan Paul, you're scripted, bro. Just say it. Just admit, and I'm cool with it.
Right.
Get your coin. Get your cash. Make it how you gonna make it. But at the end of the day, bro, you know better than an Instagram model, right? and no offense to them, but
No,
it's what you are.
100%. And what do you think about the older fights, like the Tysons? Do you put that in the same category or no?
Same thing, man. It's like, it's. I asked, and I actually asked Michelle, my girlfriend. I asked her brother that because they're a little bit older and they saw Tyson and they saw him fight in their primes. And I said, how does it make you feel? Seeing your heroes that saw him just annihilate everyone and at the high level and with the athleticism and the boxing technique that they had. How do you feel seeing them now? This is a circus show. And they're like, oh, it doesn't matter. They don't care either way.
Care.
So, but for me, it's like, I feel like you're disrespecting your legacy,
Right.
You're kind of like, you're disrespecting it by, leave it alone. You know what I mean? You did what you did. You excelled at it. And it's okay to come back and have fights and things like that. But you're kind of taking it as a joke, right? And it's like, at what point do you not disrespect your sport, right? The thing that you love. Because me at 70 years old, I'm going to be competing. But I'm going to be competing at 100%. Like, it's going to be going at 100%. I'm going to go to take your head off and to go for arm bars and shit at 70. And Masters 8, in that division, I'm going to be going balls to the wall. I'm not going to disrespect my art by going in there and going through the motions with somebody. Like, fuck is that? I've dedicated my life to this. I'm going to show it some more respect, But that's just my personal opinion on it. You know what I mean? Definitely purist.
Damn, bro. Emmy and I will be playing PS7 at 70, boy. I'll tell you that. Gang shit, you know what I'm talking about?
I feel you.
Hey, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week we have two segments. You know what I'm talking about? And the first one is the movie review of the week. You know what I'm talking about? And we ask our guests, and this time also our illustrious in-house audience, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Everybody in the panel, for a film, a suggestion, something that you could not recommend to our listeners more. We've had a movie, we've had music, we've had video games from a video game producer. Shout out Emu. You know what I'm saying? Any sort of media that you couldn't recommend, a TV show, anything that you couldn't recommend to our people more, something that maybe you are chilling and this is something that you resort back to time and time again just because of the quality of the content.
I can't say I don't know if I can say a movie specifically.
Whatever it is, brother.
A movie specifically, but if we're gonna talk about like artistry, we actually just saw Toy Story today for the first time.
What?
Well, not the first Toy Story.
Oh,
Toy Story
okay.
2.
I was like,
I hadn't
Okay,
seen.
but still.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
also,
I know. I've never seen the Toy Story franchise
me?
at all.
No,
We're
not
being-
my first time.
Wait, hold on.
Thank you,
The
because
audience,
that
the
was
audience,
shocking.
the audience has something to say.
Disclaimer.
I was like,
My first
excuse
time.
me.
Wait, this is
I'm wearing
facetious. This
Disney
is false.
shoes. You think I'm not? I've seen Toy Story.
Respect.
This is my first time watching the Toy Story franchise. Disclaimer. And I just gotta say, like, Pixar, man, y'all go back and watch your Pixar movies as an adult, because they're deep. You know, they got
They
a lot
hit
of
different, bro.
They hit different, man.
Do they hide things in there like for adults? Because
Fuck
I don't
yeah.
think I've watched. I don't think I've
some
gone
jokes in
back.
there.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah?
Man, I just saw like my favorite one. Like we always say, the Toy Story one, when Woody and Buzz, they fall into the little alien.
The
trap.
claw game.
Yeah, like a little claw game, right? And then, you know, all the aliens are sitting there and they're like trying to grab Buzz because Buzz is like their deity. You know, they're like their god. And then Woody's, let go of them, you zealots. Cracking up like, it's not a single 6-year-old's going to know what zealot means. You know
For
what I'm saying?
sure,
But they
no.
got these crazy religious aliens and it's
Oh
just
my
fucking
God.
crazy. It's funny, bro.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
it's
pretty
awesome.
good. That's pretty
Yeah.
smart. So Toy Story 2?
Toy Story 2 is, yeah, bro. I want to say, and if there's got to be one, go back and watch the OG Toy Story. Go watch Toy
Respect.
Story
Hell yeah.
1. Go
So
So
back
you
and
haven't
watch
seen
it.
3 or 4 yet either?
No, we're gonna move on to that now. We're gonna get on to 3. I know, bro. I know. My girlfriend gives me the same looks, man.
Damn, that's intense. That's
I know.
intense.
You have work ahead of you.
So were you more,
have
so
work
you were
ahead
more
of
of a like a Dragon Ball or more? What were you? You know, when you were a kid, what was the go-to?
Man, and that's the thing, bro. I was a weird kid, dog. I didn't like any of that. I didn't like cartoons. I like National Geographic and History Channel. That was my shit. That was my shit when I was a
Boomafu,
kid.
baby. It's a boomafu.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you lost me there.
Right? What? Lost me too.
You know
You
what
guys
I'm
know,
saying?
right?
Yes.
Come on, dude. There's a show with the lemur and they're in the fucking wilderness.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you
so
are the
animal
lemur.
fan.
Respect,
He says
bro.
it very fast, so it took me the second time to understand.
Yeah,
it.
so,
Yeah,
yeah, because it's a
Boomafu.
boomafu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say it out loud. But
Sometimes you gotta.
you know.
You gotta wait for that mental echo to kick in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Toy Story 1 and 2. How many stars would you give it out of 5?
Bro, it's 5 out of 5, man.
Gang! And that
That's a
makes,
masterpiece.
bro, that makes my damn editing easy, boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Love that. Let's check in with our live studio audience. But let's start with Michelle. One movie, one TV show, anything that you couldn't recommend to our people more.
Like ever that I've ever seen, or like a current thing. that I've
Whatever
you've
you
ever
want.
seen.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god. Oh, this is like gonna
I
be
know what she's
annoying.
gonna say.
Tough. Okay, we're doing movies. I'm gonna always
You're going to do,
say
no, it's going to be either a movie or a TV
okay,
show.
TV show. I'm gonna say Friday Night Lights, obviously.
Ooh,
Which one? Say it again.
Friday Night
Shit.
Lights.
Friday Night Lights.
Like,
I still haven't
shit.
indulged.
Easily my favorite show of all time.
I've seen
I
it too
made
many
him
times.
watch- Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
I have a clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose tattoo.
She does, y'all. Not kidding.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, it's
Gotcha.
amazing.
Fuck yeah.
But don't like replace it for the movie and then just say that you put the effort. Like no, put the effort and watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
The movie is. I'm not gonna say the movie's trash, but the movie is not that. Like
not
I
at
do
all.
not endorse the film. 100%
God.
the TV show.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right. And how many stars?
Oh my god, I'm 10.
Beautiful. Love it.
10 out of
Love
5.
it.
Cosign.
10 out of 5.
Charles and Michi.
Alright, so I mean, I've seen too many movies to pick like an actual favorite.
Respect.
I mean, I'm a Harry Potter fan, so I guarantee you
Gang!
any one of them, 5 out of 5. But I guess talking about most recent, we did watch a Tom Clancy. I mean, I'm not gonna like promote it and say this is one of the best of all times, but it's just something that just has caught my eye recently. The new one with Michael B. Jordan.
Okay,
Without
yes. Yeah.
remorse.
Yeah, I forgot. I don't
Oh,
even know
it
the
just
name.
come out, right?
She knows
it
her
just came
movies,
out
bro.
on Prime.
That's Prime.
Shout out,
right.
shout out screeners. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's Tom
Word.
Clancy?
That's a Tom Clancy. I think it's like they did one recently with the guy from The Office. What was
Yeah,
that
the
one called?
show. The
Yes.
John Krasinski.
Yes. John Krasinski.
Shout out
Jack
Jim.
Ryan. Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan. So I guess they're I guess continuing a Tom
Clancy
Clancy stuff.
So is that the one that you had watched?
This is the one that just recently came out. It was just like a random thing I saw. I'm like, well, I mean, he's amazing, so might as well watch it. But I don't usually go on Prime very often,
Right.
so it was like random.
The UI sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What is this? Craigslist?
But it was actually very entertaining. If you're into like war style, like those suspenseful movies, And he actually did play a really good part in it. I was thinking, okay, Amazon Prime, low budget, whatever, but it was actually surprisingly very good. I wouldn't say it would be a 5 out of 5, but definitely a 4 out of 5.
Dang, okay, it's still up there, still up there. Michi, do you tie in? What else is there? Come on.
No, I've got
She's like, oh, I've got something.
like, absolutely
She's like,
not.
fuck. She's like, Tom Clancy's nice, but fuck that.
So one of the shows that I absolutely love watching, it's on Netflix. It's Midnight Gospel.
And she was talking about it too. Before we even inquired. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
It is so awesome. It's like 8 episodes, and basically it just talks about real life situations, really hard life situations, and how to handle them. And it gets very emotional at times. Like the last episode.
Don't spoil it though.
The last episode is a huge tear jerker.
Okay.
And I feel a lot of people will relate to that. And maybe they've experienced it, or someone they know has experienced it. And it's really, really, really touching. So I'm just waiting for season 2. Midnight Gospel. Hello.
Wait, but it came out a while ago. Yeah. Did they say they're doing season 2 for real?
So I think I heard something, but a lot of people speculate.
Right.
Does it really happen?
Right. And the graphics they're pretty wild.
Super great
Because
graphics.
they don't like
check it
necessarily tie in. I saw it a while ago, but I remember saw a couple of the episodes, and it was like a podcast playing in the background is the vibe I got, and then there's like some cartoon wild shit going on in some cartoons. It's very, very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, very colorful, very visual, and yes, he runs a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, shout out.
Midnight Gospel in Miami.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Gospel.
You know what I'm saying? There you go.
Definitely watch it, give it a like. Maybe the more likes we get.
Yeah,
the more
and that's why I fucked up the name in the beginning. That's what I had in my damn brain. You know what I'm saying? We never doing that again, girl. How many stars would you give it out of 5?
10. I have to piggyback on the 10 out of 5.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. That's what I like to hear. Cool. Man, you have a slew of suggestions for you guys to check out. You know what I'm talking about? You got homework. Julien, I wanted to know, at what point did you, when you started at 13, at what point did you realize that this is not going to be a hobby? Your boy, he did Taekwondo when he was young. Your boy, he broke the board. You know what I'm saying? But I stopped after. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and I even think
was it pre-cut though?
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
Solid, I bet.
I failed the first. I had to hit it again because I had to muster up my chi. You know what I'm saying? But after you get the chi, you break through that sucker. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it PG. Not really. But I wanted to know, at what point did it go from hobby to something that you were actually going to pursue?
I think it had to be probably when I got to about high school, or a little bit before that, actually. When I was already starting to like wrestle, or my brother would take me to a local high school, my Sunset, my alma mater, actually, Sunset, and we would wrestle there. And I was an 8th grader wrestling with the high schoolers, 7th grader rolling with the high schoolers, learning some wrestling and stuff. Just that, like, going from school to going to wrestling practice, to then going to train afterward, to then going home, like that kind of like monotony, like schedule, I guess, was like, wow, man, like it's kind of what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like I had a different passion. It wasn't the same as soccer. It wasn't the same as football. I've always loved football. I've been watching and loving football since before I can even remember. It's been a thing, my favorite sport, one of my favorite sports forever. But it was a different passion and a different like understanding. It clicked differently in my brain. I'd see jiu-jitsu moves and I could like just watch them one time. I'm a visual learner besides that, but I could watch a jiu-jitsu match and look at a move that's done on there and I could go and redo it. I might mess up the first time, but the second time I'll probably hit the technique and do the technique with all the same details that he did in the match in the video, and it's like a deeper understanding of it. You know what I mean? And I was at that point, I'm like, I can't let this go, man. I just love it. I'm enthralled with it. Winning, losing, it didn't matter. I was just all I could find myself doing, all I ever wanted to do. And I have an off season. I just wrestled in high school, then did jiu-jitsu, then went right back to wrestling season, then jiu-jitsu. And I was like, this is what I just want to do for the rest of my life.
So you enjoy routine?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like the routine of like working out. It's kind of like a nail, a thorn in my ass almost. It's like, hey, you didn't work out today, bro.
Right.
You didn't go and get some work in, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Right. Like oh shit, tomorrow's practice. Like I'm anxious right now tomorrow to get back to work. Right. Like I just had a match last night Like I was just telling my girlfriend, you know, I'm like, maybe I'm gonna go to Open Mat on Sunday before I go to Midnight Miami. You know, like I'm gonna pull up to Open Mat, I think, because you know I don't think I earned my rest. You know, I think I got a lot more work to do, and that's a thing, right? That like Thorn kind of feeling was like, if that's how I feel for this, that love and that passion that I have for it is that I always need to get better. You know, it's like I was born to do this. You know, God put me on earth to do this, and I really do think that He did. And so I'm like, I'm just enthralled, bro. I can't get enough of it. It's all I ever want to do. It's all I think about. It's in my brain, you know. And at that point, it's like, all right, man. I think this is kind of what you do. You know, you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Everyone, and I've heard that everyone does find like what they're supposed to do in life. You know what I mean? And if you don't, you don't. You know, it's not a big thing. But the like one thing is that in common of everyone that's talked about like finding their passion, it's the same thing that I feel. You know, that like obsessiveness over it, you know, that's all you want to do. It's all you think about, all those traits, and you're like the feeling of satisfaction when you're there, like you can't get when you do anything else. That's just like, hey man, this is your passion. This is what you're supposed to do.
Hell yeah.
Is there a specific goal that you're working towards? Is there an end game for you? Shout out Avengers, you know what I'm saying?
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Is there, you know, what do you have set on the horizons as far as, you know, 10, 20, 30 years down the line practicing jiu-jitsu?
Man, you know, the trifecta, or the triple crown, would you call it in jiu-jitsu, the triple crown, which is the IBJJF World Championship. It's the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation, their world championship at a black belt level. You know, I definitely want to achieve a title. I want to get a gold medal there. I want to at least place at ADCC, the Abu Dhabi Combat Club World Championships, like the Submission Grappling World Championships. I want to get on that podium. And then the UAE, United Arab Emirates Jiu-Jitsu Federation, they have a world tournament and also place there, you know, win that. It's the Triple Crown because it's the 3 most prestigious titles in Jiu-Jitsu in the world. Wow. You know.
And do you get invited to those? Do you just buy a
the
spot
the ADC, so the IBJJF is open. That's like a regular tournament. The only caveat is that you have to like score a certain amount of points during the year to qualify for the Worlds. Okay. So like as a black belt, you have to compete in different spots around the country and earn and place, you know, because you get medals and then you get points based on your placing at the tournaments. You have to accumulate a certain amount of points in the year to compete there. So it's only at that point, although you don't have to like, it's not like a great number or crazy number, you know that the only people competing there at black belt are going to be, gonna be the dudes traveling all over the US and stuff, you know.
And that takes place here?
Yeah. Okay. Usually, almost always, it's been in California, in Los Angeles at the Pyramid. You know, shout out the Pyramid, everyone out there. Okay. All the jiu-jitsu practitioners know about the Pyramid. They watching right now.
I thought you were talking about Egypt for a second. I hope they're listening. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to all my Egyptian listeners out there too.
Gang, you know what I'm saying?
It's called the Pyramid in Long Beach because it's a literally pyramid at the Long Beach University, and it's like prestigious because it's been there I think since 2001 or 2002. It's been there for a long time. You know, don't quote me on that, but it's been there for a long time, and it's like, what can I call it, man? You know, in other sports, it's like the Super Bowl, you know, the Super Bowl. And imagine if like the Super Bowl was at one location every year, you know, and everyone knew where it was, you know, that's kind of what the Pyramid is to jiu-jitsu fighters, you know, it's the most prestigious and stuff. But again, it's just, you're going to know that there it's all the best high level competitors, you know. At the ADCC, you do have to qualify. You have to win your continent's qualifier. So, or be invited, right? But the only people invited are ex-champions, right? Wow. So even if you placed, you could have fucking beaten the world champion in your first match, you ain't getting an invite, bro. It's very difficult. You have to win your national qualifier, and they only do two national qualifiers every year, and the ADCC only occurs every 2 years. So
because you got 4 shots to get in.
Basically, bro. If you're like North America, like if you're in North America, you got 2 shots. You know, if you have like dual citizenship, then you're lucky. So, and some of them do that on purpose. They get dual citizenships.
Yeah, you got to get in.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, right.
You figure it out.
Exactly, and they do that, and the like Brazilian and American is like a common one that they do and stuff. But anyways, they go and yeah, you basically in a sense only have 2 shots at making the tournament. You know, and so it's a big thing. And I've competed in the ADCC qualifier before. They were supposed to come back down. Last year before, you know, COVID hit, they were supposed to come down to South Florida. You know, unfortunately now they're going to do it in November though in New Jersey. Maybe you guys might see me out there.
Gang.
There you go.
Yeah. Julien, I got to ask, do you have a favorite submission?
I don't, man. I don't think, trying trying to think, man, right? That's a tough question.
I know it's a tough question.
Tough one. I don't think I really do, man. I don't think I have a personal favorite or one that I like to do over any other ones.
Or one that you like to see, maybe?
Oh, man.
No?
I don't. There's like not one that's more pretty than the other, bro. They're all just nice as fuck. When everyone like, is like you hit a clean Darce or you hit a clean Anaconda or a clean Kimura, it's just nice. It's pretty to look at, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or a leg lock. Anything is nice, you know what I mean? I don't have a preference. It's more like, whatever's available there. I would say I got a preference for like upper body submissions, like arm bars and chokes and stuff versus the legs, but definitely anywhere. I don't have really a favorite per se.
Have you put someone to sleep, and what does it feel like?
I have a couple times. I haven't. It's been a long time since I have, but ironically enough, it happened when I was like 15 years old.
Damn.
And that was kind of scary because you had the parents and shit yelling.
Shout out teenage angst. You know
exactly. It was about the same time I was put out too. So teenage angst from both sides. Yeah, man. It was a little weird. It was I had a rear naked choke. And just had it in, and then the referee started, try to pull his arm, and he wasn't, and I'm like, oh shit, like he's not tapping though. And the referee's like, stop, let him go, and I put him over to the side, and I'm sitting there like, oh my fuck, I just killed this kid. What the fuck is going on? Like I didn't know this could happen. Is he supposed to wake up quick? Like is he supposed to already wake up and shit?
How long did it take? What the fuck?
It was like 20 seconds, but he was out for a little
while.
He was out. Yeah. And then it took him a little, but it happens. Like sometimes it'd be like that because you really go out and you think you're sleeping. Like you legit think you're taking a nap. Everyone out, again, shout out to all the jiu-jitsu fighters who've been put to sleep out there. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You wake up, you're like, what happened? And that's the number one tell.
Wow.
What happened? Oh, I got put to sleep.
And what was it like when you got put to sleep?
The same, just like I said, bro. It's like you wake up, when you got put to sleep. It was a guillotine, I think. I got caught in a guillotine, and those are the things, right? Because some of those chokes, you feel like you can hold out a little bit until you can't.
And then the lights go out.
And then the lights go out, bro. And then like you feel like you're dreaming. You like close your eyes and you feel like you're literally at home sleeping, bro. And then you open your eyes and you're like, what? And it's hilarious. I literally open my eyes and go, what happened? Oh, fuck. I got my legs up in the air. I'm asking what happened. Oh, I know exactly what the fuck happened, bro. Hope nobody got that on video.
Oh, they're shaking your legs.
Yeah. It's to get the blood flowing back through your body. Yeah, and then that's, like I said,
it's an embarrassing moment. Yep.
You already know what happened. Yeah.
Damn. Ladies and gentlemen, as I had mentioned before, every single week we have two segments, but this week we are actually introducing a brand new one by the name of my mail time. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out Blues Clues. And you know what I'm talking about? And if you follow us on social media, specifically Instagram, on the Saturday before a new guest, we will post a story where you can ask questions to the guest yourself. And a number of those questions will be read on the air. And this is the air. You know what I'm talking about? And here we go. All right.
I don't know any of these questions. I want y'all to know. Never heard of them.
And I'm gonna choose to keep it anonymous because I didn't even really state, so I'm gonna keep it anonymous. And next time, if people want, we'll read out their names. You know what I'm talking about. But one of the questions goes, and one of the better questions, you know what I'm talking about. What do you do for recovery?
Weed.
Respect.
But I said that very like junky, like weed, like nah. It's definitely it's like a recovery thing for me. Kind of like to chill out after practice. But 100% water. Like right off the top, you gotta be drinking water. You gotta be eating clean. Your body is a machine. It's an engine. It's a car. You know what I'm saying? If you put whatever bullshit oil in there, it's gonna give you that kind of mileage back. So I can't really stress enough the eating correctly and the drinking of the water. I drink BCAAs, branched chain amino acids. That help a lot with. No, it's not no science thing, but BCAAs. I don't know nothing. I don't know shit about shit. But
bro,
look, bro science.
Bro science.
I know antioxidants. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I know.
Shout out to my dog.
Gang, you know what I'm saying? Gang.
Yeah. So the BCAAs help a lot with breaking down lactic acid in your muscles. So they kind of make you feel less sore. And, if you're the biggest things that people say is, when they're about to go to practice, like, I'm too sore to work out today. I can't, I'm too sore or whatever. So that helps out a lot. But, definitely the water, eating healthy, resting when you need to rest, you know, and then not going hard when you don't need to go hard. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you have to chill out, or if something's hurting, take care of it. You ice, you know, and then smoke your weed.
Amen. And as a second parter to that question, another question that came up, I believe from the same person, if I'm not mistaken, was how often do you train? Do you find yourself giving yourself adequate rest? And when you first started, were you training more than you are now or less?
So right now I'm training about 6 days a week. I usually train about Monday through Friday. I usually take Saturdays off, and then I train on Sundays. I say usually because sometimes I'll find myself training all 7 days. You know, I'll have regular class during the week, and then I'll do open mat on Saturday and open mat on Sunday mornings. Those open mats though are like hour to 2 hour sessions, you know, maybe about 3 to 4 rows. And that's more like to get a good workout in and to practice kind of the things that I've been practicing during the week. You know what I'm saying? But it's about 6 times. And sometimes I feel like I am giving myself enough rest. Maybe sometimes I feel like I'm not, you know, but that's kind of like the ebb and flow of things, right? Everyone is going to be different. Everyone's going to, you know, train differently and to feel differently. For me, I want to train as much as I can, as often as I can, but those sessions are varied, right? So like you have to take your own body and your own work into consideration, right? Like I have a lot of events coming up these coming weeks. So maybe for me, more important is to be rolling than to be 100% drilling, right? To focusing on new techniques, because I have, you know, so many competitions coming up that I gotta clip and change what I was doing and then get right back to like keeping the momentum going, right? So I do give myself enough rest, but I don't feel like the workouts that I'm doing are grueling. They're not killing me to where like I can't get up the next day, right? So I might pull back, I might scale down one night, I'm not gonna roll tonight, I drilled and I'm chilling. Because then I know the next day I'm going to go harder. You know what I mean? And then I got Saturday and Sunday to work out. So it just really just depends. And then was I training more now? Yeah, I'm training way more now than I ever have in my entire life. Damn. I've never, ever trained this much. When I was, just starting out, it was probably a couple times a week, 3 or 4 times a week. But then obviously, now that I have more access to open mats and access to other gyms and things like that, training as much as I fucking possibly can. Gotcha. As much as I can.
And then open up a little bit. And the last from the questions from mail time is, what is your favorite cookie from Miami?
My favorite cookie in Miami.
Look, I don't make these questions, honestly.
Damn.
One of the few ones I don't make.
I'm gonna upset a couple of cookie companies out there. You know what I mean? I don't want to burn no bridges though. You know what I mean? All cookie companies in Miami are fire.
Hey, listen, if you want to sponsor this man, you can any cookie, bro.
Please, But if I gotta go with one, gotta go with the OG hometown. What's this man? And I'm tripping right now. You know it. Yeah, you're already saying it. Night Owl.
Night Owl. Okay, there you go. I don't want to say that. Wait, you never tried Night Owl?
Oh man, and I'm so sorry for
like el búho de la noche. El búho de la noche.
Let's not fucking act like it's a surprise that an adult hasn't tried cookies.
Now we're talking about Night Owl
right now,
bro.
I will order cookies right now.
What I mean,
we're about
they're
to
cookies, guys.
But they're not though. They're not though.
Shout out Andrew. Shout out Night Owl.
So
y'all are amazing.
Man's got the chef in his pocket, bro.
I know that, man. That's a dog. That is my boy.
Gang, all right.
Never even heard of it.
Night Owl is decadent.
Man.
It's decadent.
Yeah, bro. It's a Miami staple, if anything.
Yeah. It's a Miami staple.
All right,
for sure.
no shade, Night Owl, no shade.
No shade. All right. Thank you for that beautiful mail time. Every Saturday you can check who's going to be our next guest, and please submit those questions. You know what I'm talking about. Julien, I want to know before we get to our last segment of the week, which is of our show, which is arguably my favorite. I don't know about yours, but I did want to know: do you dabble in besides jiu-jitsu, the stand-up game? Do you do other things besides jiu-jitsu? Because I know you're a well-balanced mixed martial artist. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I actually got 8 amateur MMA fights under my belt. So I fought extensively in the past couple years. Most recently in 2018. In December for Combat Night. Again, shout out Combat Night.
Big shout out.
Yeah, big, humongous shout out to Combat Night. One of the best amateur and professional MMA companies in Florida. Hope to see them go in the rest of the country soon because they're just amazing. Mitchell Chamal is amazing CEO and guy. So crazy good. But yeah, most recently in 2018, I fought with them, and I love it, man. I love fighting, bro, and that's really like. And that goes from like when I was wrestling, you know what I mean? I loved wrestling because it was just a grit. It's just a grind. It's just who's tougher, you know what I mean? Sometimes.
Right.
And so I love fighting. I love stand up. You know, I love kickboxing. It's got its own thing to it, you know what I mean? And MMA is a mistress, man. I call it my mistress, man. Unfortunately, like my wifey is jiu-jitsu. I love her to death, bro. But every time that mistress, you know, that side chick coming around, it's hard. It's hard, bro. She tempts me. She tempts me, man.
She's a temptress already.
Yeah, bro. But I love MMA because it's like jiu-jitsu in the sense of it's a huge chess match, man. Because there's a lot of strategy involved to it, and like more so than like a lot of people think at the highest level. You know what I mean? It's just like jiu-jitsu where you got to have your strategy on point and everything's got to be on point. It's a lot of mixing different things together, you know, the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, the striking, the Muay Thai, all those things together. So I love it. And I've been doing it, you know, thinking about getting back into fighting soon, man.
I was going to ask you, do you foresee yourself doing MMA again?
100%, 1,000%, bro.
All right.
You know, one of the things that I see is because in jiu-jitsu, it's kind of hard to find like fights, man. Find matches.
Right.
I don't know why. Like being in South Florida here, it's just so tough finding 135 pound, 140 pound brown belt, you know what I mean? Or black belt that'll take the match, you know? I don't know what it is. And fighting always gave me the opportunity. Every 3 months, I was going to have a fight.
Right.
Somebody was going to step up to fight because everyone's fighting, you know what I mean?
Look, I'll meet you halfway. I'll do 200, but that's about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all right. I'm definitely want to get up there, but I got you.
Damn, you know what I'm talking about. Why do you think that it's such a, you know, and you're not the first person to come on the Midnight in Miami studio and talk about that. Why do you think it's so difficult or such a regular occurrence for people to drop out of fights?
Cut differently, man. Cut from different cloth, you know, made a different fabric out here, you know. And I mean that in the sense that some people want it and act like they want it, and some other people are really about it, you know what I mean? Like, people really don't understand what it's like to step into the cage and have those doors closed behind you and to have this dude in front of you really trying to hurt you. Like, it's not like jiu-jitsu, and I've competing and doing jiu-jitsu since I was 14, like I said, like I mentioned, you know what I mean? It is not the same when they close those doors and you're thinking in your head, like, this guy's trying to inflict some serious damage on me, like serious harm, you know? And some people just ain't made for that, you know? I don't know if that's why they pull out, because I never pulled out of a fight before. But a lot of the times it's that they don't realize what it is that they're getting into. And so when it gets closer to the date and they realize they haven't put in the time for it or the work for it, they either find excuses, they find reasons to not fight, they find reasons to pull out. They get even hurt because they're training. Like, they compensate, so they train extra hard, and then they're getting hurt, and they're pulling out of fights. You know?
Shout out TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah.
Shout out to my EPO, man.
That's the plug right there.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, yeah,
Damn.
man.
What do you think of fighters, actually, you know, all jokes aside, fighters who have been busted? You know, there's so many stories about John Jones hiding under, you know, the octagon, hiding from USADA, or, you know, obviously, you know, the jokes about TJ Dillashaw. The names are, you know, endless. Talk to me a little bit about that.
You know, I find myself in a difficult spot because, you know, I think of myself as, like, you know, I always try to walk a straight path, you know, as far as like not judging people and respect, you know, as far as God is concerned, you know, because I call myself a godly man, you know, because I try not to judge other people. I try not to cast, you know, judgment and say, hey, you're an asshole or you're a piece of shit for doing this, you know, because everyone's got their reasons for doing what they do and making their decisions, you know, whether they're right or wrong. And who the fuck am I to question or to tell you what you did is wrong, you know? But that I like it? No, I think they're cheaters. I think that it should be a lifetime ban, bro, right off rip. You know, if you made that decision to cheat and you cheated, you know what I mean? You put pine tar on your back, go ask what's gonna happen to him in MLB. You know what I mean? You put if you find you know,
loaded gloves,
bro. You know, in biking, you know, Lance Armstrong, you catch him one time and that's it. Why is it so different for our sport, right? Why is it so different for MMA and for combat sports in general?
Right.
You know, it doesn't make any much sense to me. I feel like, especially since we can cause so much damage to another human, where like my physicality is literally going to be the determination of the harm I put on you and I inflict on you. If I'm doing something to increase that is unnatural, I have an excess risk to give you, you know, extra damage, CTE, broken bones, all the, you know, you name it. You're at greater risk. because I'm doing something illegal and something that's wrong. You know what I mean? So I think lifetime bans, bro, should be a thing. You know,
100%.
once or twice. On the second, you know, if we're gonna be lenient, second time lifetime ban. You know. But there's no excuse for that, bro. And that's pity party that some of them try to throw and all that stuff. I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a minute.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, every single week we have 2, actually now 3. I said 3 segments, you know what I'm talking about. And the last one is actually the quest for the truth. You know what I'm talking about. And I get a random emphasis on the word random card from this deck of cards. And I ask not only our, how dare you, not only our illustrious guest, but our lovely in-studio audience as well, this picture. I mean, take the reins while I pick the random card.
Mm-hmm. You see? It starts with lies, dude. It starts with lies.
It's random, right?
Look at this random generator.
Okay, I don't want to do a question that we already did. You
It's
know
like
what I'm saying?
them shoe raffles, you know what I mean? It's
exactly.
randomly generated.
Oh, yeah,
bro.
Shout
person
out,
won.
bro.
No,
Shout out Soulfly. I can never get a damn shoe from there, bro. I hate Soulfly, bro.
Man, shout outs, yeah,
Bro,
bro.
Soulfly-
Amazing store, but can't win shit on
They
there.
backdoor everything. All
Yeah.
right, let's be honest.
It's okay.
All right.
Is that a thing, bro?
Oh man,
Oh,
that's a
dude,
humongous
so,
thing.
yeah.
But it's the game. Charges
That's
the
the thing.
game,
They,
you know.
buy raffles to buy the shoe, and then they actually sell the shoe to somebody. Like, you know, that's what they call
Raffles.
behind the door or whatever.
Yeah, backdooring
backdoor,
pairs.
backdoor.
Backdooring fairs.
Where you kind of you bribe them and they give you the shoe.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's not really at that point. You know, it's not like anyone can get it, right? It's not a technically raffle anymore. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's like your homies getting
shoe.
the shoe, right? And then it's like sucks.
Everybody here shall answer this question. All right, so
That means it's going to be intense.
Go on then, huh?
Yeah.
we'll start with Julien because he's the one that's least prepared. He has least time to prepare. Julien, what mistake do you keep making over and over again?
Shit. What mistake do I keep? None. I'm perfect. No, I'm playing.
Next question.
Next question. What mistake,
He's
man?
like, bro, I don't go to side control. It's fucking me up.
You know, mistake that I keep making. You know what? I do, man. I keep taking fights outside of my weight class. It's a mistake I keep making. It's a mistake. I
Like
keep
higher
making.
than your weight class?
Yeah. Higher.
Substantially higher?
From one side, I'm walking around at $140, bro, 140, and I taken most recently off a super fight last year in February at 170. It's 30-pound difference.
What the fuck?
You can't find dudes. You can't find people down here in South Florida, bro. I don't know what the hell is up. You know, like, so I just keep taking because it's like either that or stay inactive. And me, I'm about that life. You know what I mean? So if you're willing to step up to the plate and you're 20 pounds, okay. I train with people like my regular training partners are about 20 pounds heavier than me, 30 pounds heavier than me. All right, about 160. Now I keep it at 160 since I've slimmed down a little bit. But you know, before I was not take anyone. That's big mistake. Don't do that. But I just can't find any 140 pounders in South Florida or anywhere close to me that want to take fights. What's up? Where y'all at? Let me know.
Where y'all
Please.
at?
Yeah.
Please, I want all the smoke. You know what I mean?
All the smoke.
And-
Come on.
But I'm not like these other people who saying, you know, they all about the smoke and then, well, maybe gi, maybe no gi. Like, no, man, I'll take it anywhere, any weight, you know, and that's a mistake. Cause then I'm like letting these guys who are bigger than me and they don't want to engage. And then obviously, you know, they kind of take their time and they stall and all this bullshit and then they end up winning or whatever. And then I'm like, okay, well, I don't care because I'm just taking the fight just to compete.
Stay
Right.
active.
But to stay active. But you know, I'm kind of giving these people a platform, and I shouldn't be doing that.
Do you think that what role do you think weight makes a massive difference in jiu-jitsu? Because I mean, your boy started at like 270 and was still getting ragdolled by people half my weight. You know, it's because technique makes a massive difference.
Right.
What do you think is the balance ratio to that?
It does. It's I want to say 60-40, 70-30, because it really does depend on the belt. Like going up belts, it'll have a difference. Like at white belt, it's 50-50. You know, strength and technique. It's a toss up. Whoever has, if you're stronger, well, you might be able to do better. But if the other guy has a little better technique, well, you might be able to be better. But as you go on, like to my level and to even higher level than me, the strength starts to play a little bit more of a role into it, because the technique is at the same, right? If you imagine if you're gonna put, I've been doing this for 14 years and another brown belt's been doing it for 14 years. Our technique is going to be about the same level. We're going to have our individual skill set to what we're amazing at and to what we're great at and what I'm good at and defending at. What the variables are going to start to be is that athleticism, the conditioning, the strength,
Right.
And it doesn't play like an enormous role, But when you get a 140-pound guy trying to make a 170-pound guy move, who literally refuses to move or will disengage every time you're trying to engage and just push you off and move away, you know, I'm in a little bit of a pickle. How much am I going to be able to actually get you to engage? You know, how much am I actually going to get you to gum down if you don't ever want to? You know, so.
Exactly. Emmy, what is a mistake? What is it that you keep making over and over?
I don't know, dude. Otherwise, I would have assessed that mistake. I don't know. Probably don't notice it. I don't know. Maybe eating too much.
Respect, bro.
It's usually tied to drinking, so probably drinking.
I feel that though. I feel that sometimes on my cheat
the
meal.
munchies, man.
Oh, the munchies are real, bro, and we know that better than anybody.
Weed doesn't have the only reins on that one.
Yeah, I know.
You get too drunk, bro. That pizza looks good.
Ooh,
Oh, that 2 a.m. That 2 a.m. Denny's run, bro. That's a staple back in the day.
man.
Back in the day, that was a staple.
I remember the McDonald's runs for me. It was McDonald's for me, man. Yeah,
So much
that night
easier,
after that
bro.
club, you know, you're out of that bar at 2 a.m. You just left
Gangbang
Centro.
at
you
3
just-
a.m., 4 a.m.
Yep.
On to our studio audience. Let's start with Michelle. What is a mistake that you make over and over again?
I'm gonna go ahead and say the same thing that Julien said. I don't make mistakes. I'm perfect.
That's the double champ, baby. That's the double champ.
Champ, undefeated.
I don't know. I was thinking about it. It's kind of a tough one, I guess. And it's like a little deep. I think I oversell my time too much. Like I spread myself real thin. Like I'll be like
You commit to too many things?
I commit to way too much. And like it's like this past year I used this expression so many times because I just feel like it's really true. Like I'm pouring from an empty cup. Like I'm like, yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll be there. Yeah, I can do this.
Yeah.
Like, right now, like you know, I have had a pretty busy couple of weeks at work and a couple of very busy weeks coming up. And someone asked me like, hey, can you do, because like I know how to do like Photoshop and InDesign and stuff. And they're like, hey, can you do, it's Teacher Appreciation Week. And like for my kids, like, can you do this collage with these like things for me, please? Like, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. When do you need it by? She's like, Tuesday. I'm like, okay, got it. You know, and I'm like, what? When did I think I was going to do that?
Like Tuesday, I'm gonna be in Seattle. Wednesday, I'm gonna be at your mom's barbecue. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, and it's true. Like I'll just be like, yes, I'll be there. When is it? Okay, and then I'm like, okay, well, if I leave here by 7, and then I get there, I spend about an hour there. I gotta go over here. I just
Gotta show face.
yeah.
It's like committing without kind of thinking about it.
Yeah, that's the committing committee right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Dang.
like,
Always trying to be
there. Yeah, I don't know when I think I have the time, but
Gotcha. Yeah, you're trying to squeeze like 48 hours out of 24.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Charles, what is a mistake that you keep making over and over again?
This one may be a little bit apparent to a lot of people who follow me, but I need to stop buying shoes. Like,
Gang.
Word, bro.
Respect,
I
respect.
keep looking down my Twitter feed and my Instagram feed, like, oh look, and I'm like, I'm not gonna buy another pair of shoes. I think I have a lot of people, especially. Will,
Name no names here.
no, I said it to myself, but then you keep getting those notifications, and you're like, oh, I know I'm not gonna win this draw, but you know what? Screw it, let me try it anyways, and yeah, I keep clicking, and somehow I keep winning some, so I need to stop.
There you go. There you go.
Send some of that winnings over here, please.
Right, for real. Some of those winning
Straight
vibes.
up.
Michi, what is a mistake that you keep making over and over again?
Okay, so for the record, I have no problems with the sneakers that he's buying.
Respect.
Disclaimer
There
on
you
there.
go.
Like, go ahead and throw the
Right,
disclaimer.
you gotta say it.
Yes, because I always tell him, hey, you can get it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Why not? Right? Just don't tell me anything when I go shopping. But
That's the case.
That's
catch, always a catch. So I want to say the mistake that I always make is that I overthink, because I started overthinking about my response right now. But truly and honestly is that I waste a lot of my time, because I have so much time in the day, and then I give myself my to-do list, and then there's things that I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do it, and time just keeps going by and I still haven't done it. So I get upset at myself for not having done or completed my tasks. And I want to say, with habits, I've gotten into the habit of reading books, and I actually have the book with me. It's called Badass Habits, and it talks a lot about what you just spoke about, spreading yourself thin, learning and setting boundaries for yourself, and that's something that I have to set within myself. So yeah, it's by the same author of You Are a Badass, You're a
Very
Badass at
cool.
Making Money.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've
so
heard of that
super
series.
awesome.
So yeah, so as far as I mean, I know you already did a movie suggestion, but when you suggest that book, there you go. You see it on the screen.
She got it up there and everything.
Boom,
Yes,
boom.
Jen
You know what I'm
Sincero.
saying? Quick plug. You can see it on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Badass Habits by Jen Sincero. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, and that's
And if you
hardcover
suck
too.
at reading books like I did, just focus on 10 pages a day. I'm already halfway through the book in 2 weeks.
Facts, bro. I'll tell you, bro. And hardcover, it just makes it a whole different experience. I'll tell you that. Bro. Hardcover is a whole nother game. It's a ball game. You in a Rolls Royce at that point. You know what I'm saying? Julien. First of all, thank you so much for dropping on by today. You know what I'm talking about?
appreciate
Can we
you
please
so
give it
much.
up for this man? You know what I'm talking about? This man
so much.
showed up, shut us down with a episode of Colossal Proportions. You know what I'm talking about? I could not be happier with today's episode, and I cannot wait to bring you back on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? After a couple events, I know that before we wrap up, I want to talk about White Lions event that they have coming up, which
Yes,
you
sir.
are competing in, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Talk
You
to
know
us
it,
a little
man.
bit about that. When is that? And what does your event look like?
Yeah, it's the White Lions Promotions. They're actually holding an absolute tournament. It's for a good cause, actually. It's for shoes, I believe, for the homeless.
Yes.
Doing an amazing job. I believe it's going to be at Stunners Fit. If you guys aren't aware of that location, Stunners Fit. I believe it's in South Miami. It's a 16. They're hoping to be 16 men. Right now, it's 11 of us. Absolute open weight tournament. So it's all weight classes, and it's purple and brown belts. It's mixed, and it's going to be a sub only. It's gonna be a really good event, man. There's a lot of heavy hitters already on there.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And big shout out to White Lion. You know, they were here 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? This is damn crossover events like the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody and shit. It's beautiful. You know what I'm
Mixing
saying?
in
When
one
they
episode
when
the
they
other,
had
right?
Hannah Montana and stuff. Yeah, I remember. I was there. I mean, don't you?
We were all there.
He looks so
I stopped
disappointed.
watching by then.
No, you didn't. Okay.
You know exactly what we're talking about.
I'd never heard of that until this moment
The
right now.
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Hold
With
on.
Hannah
Any of them
No,
was
yes, but with Hannah Montana?
Sweet
What?
Life on Deck with Hannah Montana.
Thank you.
There you
Okay.
go. Oh my
Yes.
God, got me.
Not
There you
only
go.
was it Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, but they weren't in a hotel anymore. Now they were on a ship.
They were on a yacht.
Okay?
Hello.
And so was
fucking
Hannah
yacht.
Montana.
Thank you. It defined a generation.
Like,
Hello.
bro.
All right.
Put some respect
It's
on the
almost
name.
when the Jonas Brothers were on Hannah Montana, it was almost
Yeah.
like that.
Thank
There you
you.
go.
Thank you.
Shout out
Yeah,
J
that's
Bros.
why I was
Yes.
out. Jonas Brothers, what are we doing, guys?
Shout out Jonas Brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Jonas Brothers.
Shout out, shout out Jonas Brothers. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out Baby Slice coming on the show in a couple of weeks. That's Kimbo Slice's son, you son. Big shout out, shout out Sarah J. She's coming on as well, so big shout out to her. She defined my childhood. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Julien, thank you so much for dropping on by. Is there anything you want to say to the people before we wrap up?
No, just I really appreciate you guys having me on, man. It's incredible. Your podcast is amazing. You guys are great. Just to everyone out there, follow me on Julien M135.
You see it on the
Instagram.
screen, ladies and gentlemen.
Beautiful.
You see it on the
There
screen.
you go. You're gonna follow my give a big follow to my professor, Daniel Perez, BJJ, in Miami. Please, it's the best academy in Miami. Best jiu-jitsu, quality jiu-jitsu in Miami. Can't get it better than that. Sorry, no offense to y'all. Shout out to MMA Masters too.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all
Follow
good.
Masters
Ooh,
homes.
it's all
I'm
good.
actually in enemy
There,
territory
listen,
here.
there.
Why are you starting beef? Yo? Colby, get him! You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, but that was beautiful. Last question of the night that I want to ask. I always sign off with something I want to ask. What is or were your biggest inspirations in the jiu-jitsu world / community that inspired you?
In jiu-jitsu is definitely Rafael Mendez. He's a five-time IBJJF world champion. Considered as probably one of the best top 5 competitors ever to exist, in jiu-jitsu. And it's just his approach to jiu-jitsu and his kind of mentality to it. It's great. He really talks a lot about the mental fortitude, aspect of jiu-jitsu and the kind of like systemic approach to jiu-jitsu, right? Like you're learning the way that you learn isn't just learning moves pulled out of thin air, an armbar, Kimura. It's systems. It's a move set after a move after a move after a move, and then you have a branch with reactions. You know what I mean? Like a Kimura can go here, and then you got all these different reactions, and you're just gonna go off of that, and then that little branch is out. You know, and his approach to jiu-jitsu with his own jiu-jitsu and the way he teaches his students was a very, very big thing of mine. And I was like, I think this is the key to being good. You know what I mean? It's not so much about being moves or putting moves together. It's more about learning sets of moves that go together and combine and they link together. You know what I mean? And you compound on top of that. So it's like you're building a skyscraper from the bottom up, right? And that's kind of what he does with his athletes. And so I've learned a lot, you know, watching him and looking at his videos and things like that. It's definitely one of my biggest inspirations, 100%.
Very cool. Very cool. Big shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely
Big shout
AOJ.
out. Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. Every Thursday at midnight, you know what I'm saying? You go on damn YouTube, you go on Spotify, you go on Apple Podcasts, you go on Deezer. What else? On iHeartRadio. You go on, there you go. You go on damn Pandora, bro. You send me a DM, I'll send you a cassette, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
My Don Juan here gets it done.
Gang, you know what I'm saying? We figured, bro, you want vinyl, I'll get damn vinyl. Ladies and gentlemen, every Thursday at midnight, you know what it is. Holla.
Peace.
And it don't matter what the world thinks. You can say how you feel on midnight in Miami. When you can push it to the limit.